G'day everyone, welcome back to Daily Endeavours for Monday the 4th of August. So this one, unfortunately, I'm going to have to try and get through it as quick as I can. I just got home. There's going to be a 8-hour maintenance again. So according to ESO's forums, it's about quarterly backend data center fixes and updates. Now, I might have to rethink about what my view of quarterly is, because I'm pretty sure I've seen this. Quarterly is like 4 times a year. I'm pretty sure I've seen this like every one of these every single month in the past like 3 or 4 months. So I feel like this word is, I don't know. I feel like it's not being used as what it's supposed to mean. So yeah, the maintenance is here, 4 a.m. EDT all the way to 12 p.m. So it's going to be another 8-hour one. So yeah, you're missing half the day. That being said, wouldn't worry too much about Endeavours, because this set is pretty shit, I'll be honest. I would personally just like skip half of this stuff. So it depends on DLC though. Black Sacrament's not too bad if you have Dark Brotherhood, but you also need to progress through the questline in order to get access to it if you don't already, so that might be a pain anyway. A trial is always a pain, because yeah, it's just the nature of trials. 2 visions, this is going to take a little bit of time, 15 to 20 minutes usually, so yeah, you got that going for you too. And then damage in Battlegrounds, Cyrodiil or Imperial City, this is to players only, so just going into like a area, like a fighting a bunch of NPCs in Cyrodiil somewhere doesn't work. Either you have to wait for a battleground, or you have to go find some action, and sometimes that can be really unreliable and take ages. Also, just like being able to do enough damage, kind of pain in the ass unless you like already established. Anyway, so I'll start with the one that I definitely suggest you do. It's the same one as fucking yesterday, but deja vu more often these days. So pure water springs or alchemical plants. My advice for this, no matter what goes on, I always suggest going through some water sources, because these tend to have Nernroot, they tend to have water hyacinth, which I can't see any nearby, but they're like a pink flower. Yeah, I can't see any here. But yeah, you're looking for these things here. You've got the water nodes, and then you've got the Nernroot, and in places you can find Nernroot, you'll also find water hyacinth. So my advice is just go, especially like along a lake edge, just grab any alchemical plants or water that you see. That'll also count for the weekly too, which is nice. That being said, the weekly's pretty good this week, so not too bad. Not too much to worry about. And yeah, just go through, look for any of these like weird alchemical plants that you'll find in the wild. You can also, if you go into craft alchemy, this passive here, it'll like highlight in gold when you get close to alchemy reagents. So especially for the ones that are like hidden in shrub that you can't see otherwise, this can really help you find them if you don't know what you're looking for. But like in general, just like going across a river edge here, like you can see there's another Nernroot here. So just travel around here and you'll just find some stuff. If I go over here, for example, you can see a water hyacinth over here. This is what they look like. Just look for any of these things here, and you'll find some. So yeah. There's another water node here. There's another water hyacinth there. So you see what I mean? Like, come through here, you'll just come across a lot of stuff. And if not, just follow the river up here, and this will lead to more stuff as well. Like you go over here and nothing here, but if you keep going. Yep, there you go. So Nernroot, water hyacinth there. You get the picture. More water. Just follow water. That's all you need to do for this one. Water's much like for the plants themselves. Water is your lifeline. Alright, dealing damage in PvP areas. So just to prove my point, I'm just gonna get into a fight with these guys here. I'll deal a bunch of damage to this guy, and then as you can see here, it doesn't actually count at all for this endeavor. The only thing that you can damage that does anything is players. I think even walls for keeps, stuff like that, that doesn't count either. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, this one, because it's only players. My advice to you is find the most busy campaign. You've got mediums here, but that's about as much as I can see. On prime time, it's going to be easiest, because that's the most. That's when players are going to be on the most. And either just look for where action is. For example, you can see it's all going on over there. and either just attack people with your regular weapon, or I think the best way is to get some siege. So I've got a couple of blisters here, some firebolt blisters. I reckon these are best because you can buy them with gold. They're quite expensive if you buy them from the siege merchants. It says general goods merchant, but it's a siege merchant. These people here, they sell them for 850 gold a piece. But as you can see from the TTC average, you can see that people also sell them on guild stores. I would suggest looking in guild stores because they're much cheaper. But just be careful which one you get. Make sure it's your alliance, because there's 3 different versions. And if you get, for example, a Dominion Ballista on a packed character, you can't use it. They have to be of your alliance. That's not something you have to worry about with the siege merchants, because they always give you the right one. So these quartermasters, you can also find them in Guild Trader? Oh, interesting. You can find them in every single keep. There'll be one of these people. They'll sell you all the siege weapons. So you can see the firebolt blisters are here. The other one I recommend you get is some flaming oil if you've got some alliance points. Especially like defending a keep. These are fucking excellent. Because what people will do, especially if it's like there's nobody at a keep, they will put a battering ram on the door, and oils are the best against battering rams. So if you can, don't go into direct combat. Try to use siege. It does not take many shots of siege, just 1 or 2. So I'll just see if I can shoot down here. Get one person. How much damage is that? Yeah, it's a little bit. So I'll try and shoot them down here. Get a couple of hits. But yeah, they got Volendrung, so they're gonna get through pretty quick. Yeah, just keep shooting them. Don't worry too much about them coming up to you. It's gonna happen eventually. Yeah, so now what you should do is just check if there's any camps you can spawn at. But yeah, so we got a lot there. And the biggest problem you're going to have is if you come in here as a PvE character, like 2 heavy attack souls dead, basically. So you're going to die very fucking fast in this place if you're using a PvE build. Everyone here, like dedicated PvPers, they run like 30,000, 35,000 health. I would only suggest like going into combat if you are familiar with that sort of build and that sort of like the PvP stuff. If you're in PvE, just try and hang back and shoot siege like that. Yeah, you're gonna die very fucking quick otherwise. But yeah, like that was what, like 3 shots, and we're already halfway through. So it doesn't take long. Just, you know, trying to find where the action is can be a pain in the ass. Because if you're on your own, especially as a PvEer, and you rock up to like a group of enemies, they'll just fucking kill you in 2 seconds and you can't do any damage anyway. So it's just try and find a group of your own to run around with and just set up some siege, just see what you can do to shoot some stuff in the back. That's my advice there. Oh yeah, also, yeah, you can't spawn at a keep if it's under attack. You can only spawn at stuff that's not being attacked, so keep that in mind too. One more thing to remind you is that in PvP, all damage is halved. So whatever like you use, just remember it's going to deal like half the damage that it normally does. And you also have to factor in resistance. Most enemy players have fuck tons of resistances. So anything, like if it says 5k damage, it's probably going to go down to like 1 or 2 or even 500, depending on how good your damage is too. 2 visions. This is 2 cycle bosses. So the way Archive works is... first off, I'll just show you how to get here. Stand in Necrom in the Apocrypha zone. Though you need Necrom to access this DLC zone, the Archive itself is free. It's like a base game thing. So just go to Always Shrine, look for it here in the main map. It's up here, and just travel in here. You'll be able to do it like regardless. As soon as you make a character, you can access this. So Infinite Archive works in stages, cycles, and arcs. So 2 stages and then a cycle. Each cycle that you complete, each boss that you defeat in a cycle will give you a vision. So you need to defeat 2 bosses. It can be quick killing a boss. It can kind of be painful, some of them. It just depends on which boss you get. Some of them are pushovers, some of them are fucking pains in the ass. Bloody things like the Celestial Warrior. I hate dealing with that fucker. So yeah, it'll be very random. You'll get all sorts of shit in here. So you enter the Archival Wings to start. You can grab the quest if you want, but if you're going to do 2 visions, you're not going to get all the way to the end to get the quest done. But if you want to go all the way, you can. So just bring like a decent PvE build in here. You don't need much. Just have like a self heal, and if possible, have something that heals you when you deal damage. That's what I like to do. So I got siphoning attacks for that, and I got strife too. Right, so it'll always be just a couple of regular like humanoid enemies to start with, and there'll always be like a mix of range and melee. So my advice to you is identify who's gonna who the melee enemies are, stick to them. Oh, sorry, no, I fucked that up. Identify who the... Oh my god, my cat's sitting on a fucking mouse. Okay, so identify who the ranged enemies are, stick to them, and the melee enemies will come to you. That's what I meant to say. So, the third wave usually will have a bigger enemy, like this guy. So, this shield guy, when he goes red like this, don't attack him. Because if you do, if you hit him with a direct attack, he'll do this. When the circle expands all the way out, he's going to hit you with a stun. So when you see the circle becoming full, just start blocking, and it'll stop him from hitting you with an annoying stun. Right, so this is a verse. This is different to visions. These are temporary powerful buffs that you get each stage. The visions are permanent ones that are usually less powerful, but some of the visions are better than verses in some cases. Alright, so in this case we've got Tempest. This is a pretty good verse one, because it kills lots of enemies quick. So yeah, we got another stage here, and it's just the same thing as before. So I'm just going to use my verse here, start dealing lots of damage, and as you can see, I just stack on the ranged enemy, the melee enemies come to me and it gets easier. So hopefully I activated that early enough where it'll start on the third wave, because that's when we want to use it the most, the Stormclaw dude. Because that's when the big fucker comes out. Over there. Alright, so this guy does a heavy attack. You can see the melee enemy over here, and perfect timing will bring up this Tempest. And that's it. I mean, it's not it, sorry, it's end of that stage. Archival weaponry, yeah, this is pretty good. I'll just change my spam ball to a weapon skill. So archival weaponry increases the damage that your oh yeah, I can't. Shit. I gotta swap a thing. So it increases all your weapon ability damage by like 100%. Alright, so here's our first boss. So it's the final boss of Blackheart Haven. So Captain Blackheart himself. So yeah, we got using archival weaponry as best I can here. It is quite handy. Get that potion. Okay. Oh wow, 4 shot can already be more. So defeating a boss gives you a chest, gives you some currency and some other goodies to spend. And now we get a vision. So these are what we're looking for. Magic reserves, increase our max mag. Damage shield increase, yeah, we'll go mag. Alright, so this buff here, the magic reserves, this lasts the whole time. So instead of the verse which goes away, this will stay with us the whole time. So now we go through this portal, and it'll take us to the next stage. So it repeats the process, it just looks a bit different. So this will be another stage. Once you complete this stage with 3 waves in it, there'll be another stage with 3 waves, and then it'll be another cycle. It'll be another random boss out of a big pool of like different ones. You defeat them, you get another vision, that'll be all. So yeah, just about 10 or 15, 20 minutes, just depending on how quick you can be. Now, when you want to leave, every time after you complete a verse, a stage or a cycle or an arc, this door will be here. This is how you get back to the entrance. And from here, just turn around. You'll see the big exit portal out here. Just hit this, and you go back to where you came from. All right, Black Sacraments. You can't see it here, but the servers are going to go down by the time it resets for NA, so I can't wait for that. So I'm just going to do it here just to show you how a Black Sacrament works. I'll do the same for Trials, I'll just go through the basics. So, Black Sacrament, your objective is to kill someone, and there's a bunch of secondary objectives that you can do too, like kill someone in style basically, but if you just want to do the endeavor itself, you don't have to do any of that shit. You just have to kill the target, and you don't even need to kill the target how you're asked to. So this guy here is who you talk to. It's Speaker Tyrannus. You might know him from the start of the Dark Brotherhood questline. in order to get access to Black Sacraments, you need to complete a lesson in Silence. It's about the middle of the questline in Gold Coast. So it does take a couple of, like, an hour or so of doing the questline in order to get up to this point. Complete, you just talk to Tyrannus here. You'll just go through a bunch of dialogue here, but as soon as you see we'll die, and then you'll get transported through to the instance area. Okay, so unlike heists where you don't need to worry about bounties, here you'll get at least a small bounty by being spotted around here. But I'm just going to show you, it really doesn't matter too much. You can completely fuck this up to 6 ways from Sunday and still just be fine. Now, what you're looking for is the Dark Brotherhood icon above one of the NPC's head. That is an indication that that is the person you need to kill. Now, there's a primary target and a secondary target. So whatever this name is, that's what you're looking for. So you can kill the secondary target if you want, but you don't need to. See, I'm just skipping everybody. I don't care. We got a bounty, but it should stay at like 200 gold for the whole time. So that's the secondary target. We don't want to fight them. Or we don't want to kill them, more like. Right, so there's our target over here. Now, you can just go over and kill them, but the issue is, like, you've got these people running around. So either you can kill them all first, just make sure these people die, because as soon as you attack civilians that haven't fought back, you'll get a big motherfucking bounty. Oh, we have fucking got one already anyway, never mind. So I guess if people see you kill some other people, that's where you get your bounty. But if you want to do it silently, you can just go behind and use the Blade of Woe, because I've had that already. You can use Vampirism too. Vampirism, you can kill people from further away than you can with the Blade of Woe. Right, so the biggest problem you'll have trying to get away, or trying to be silent at all, is these blue rings here. These pull you out of stealth. So yeah, it's one of it's like the only thing that makes this really annoying to do. Yeah, you can literally just sprint past everybody if you're fast enough, and just ignore all the issues of stealth mechanics. So we return back to Tyrannus here. He won't be super impressed, but it doesn't matter. You've done the endeavor now. That's all that matters. So you'll get a couple of items here. You'll get a unidentified Sithis equipment. This can have a Dark Brotherhood motif. These sell for a little bit, but not worth like obsessing over Dark Brotherhood quests to do, like, get money for. The main reason I would do a Dark Brotherhood Black Sacrament is for the skill line. Now, most of this shit, I personally, like, just personal preference, I don't give a shit about most of this stuff here, but Shadow Rider is the fucking shit. This is amazing. So you get this at Dark Brotherhood level 7. So as soon as you get to 7, I personally am like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. Because this thing here, when you ride past enemies, it's like you can get really close to them and they won't aggro. Like, it's really great, especially if you're like, say you're traveling from like an area to a way shrine and you get into combat. You can't travel from that way shrine wherever you want to go if you're in combat. Even if the enemies are nowhere near you, even if they can't reach you, you still have to wait for combat to end. And sometimes it can take fucking ages. What this does instead is you might just go straight past them and they might not see you, because the Shadow Rider is so good. So you can just go straight to the way shrine, travel away, you don't have to waste that time. So yeah, I fucking love this thing. Because, you know, being on a mount is the fastest thing in the game. Being on a mount that also can, like, is hard to spot is just even better. I don't think it works in PvP though, I should point out. It doesn't, like, make you cloaked when you're far enough away from enemies or anything like that. Yeah, it's monsters. It's not monsters. Is just anything in PvE. All right, and then the last thing is trials. So I'm just going to give you this list of trials first. These are the DLCs that you need to access them. So yeah, if you've got all these DLCs, you've got access to all these ones, and the abbreviations you'll probably see in Trial Finder. This is usually what people use. Not always. There's always some weird exceptions to the rule, but yeah, that's going to be most of the cases. So yeah, Group Finder here, Trial, and then yeah, just make sure you pick the right damage dealer. Don't go into this accidentally, because sometimes if you've queued for like a random normal as a tank, as a fake tank, going into a trial accidentally saying you're a tank is like bad news. Like especially the new ones, because yeah, you need to be quite tanky for that to actually be easy enough. But yeah, just look through here. You can look for a veteran trial as well, but I personally wouldn't bother with this for an Endeavor's sake. Just the normal one's going to be like slow enough already. Because yeah, like this is the worst option of the lot. Like waiting for a trial, because usually it's like 30 minutes to an hour just waiting for the group to form in a trial, and that's like, I don't know, that might not even be the average. Sometimes I've waited like 2 or 3 hours for a group to form. Probably not going to be as bad since it's one of the Endeavors, but yeah, sometimes it can be that bad. Because like people join, people see that there's not many people in the trial, and then they just fucking leave, and you just, it's like a revolving door. You just got to wait for more people to join. So yeah, there are guides to every trial out there. Some have more guides than others. The current trial that came out with Citizens of the Worm Cult, a Thing Cage, that has very little information on it, but most of the other trials have tons of information. I've made a guide for Dreadsail Reef. That's probably one of the ones I would suggest if you can see it in like a list. I'll link that in the description if you want to watch it. Everything else, I haven't done a guide yet, but I know people want that sort of thing, and I'm very much I want to do one, another one, and just keep doing them. I just haven't had the time recently, and I've got to find a trial, and I've got to make sure people are okay with me doing it, because yeah, I don't want to do a trial and people just get angry when there's a video of it, yeah. But yeah, so there's hundreds and hundreds of fucking guides out there for each role as well, like especially for damage. There's so many fucking guides on builds for that, and yeah, there's some good content for tanks and healers. Tanks, there's a website called Tank Club if you want to know how like tanking usually works in this game, and healers have there's a Discord called Healers Haven. I think that's what most people use these days. But yeah, just healers, as long as you have a couple of AoE heals, like for example, just have Grand Healing. Blessing of Protection morph to Combat Prayer is really good because it gives people Minor Berserk, which is great. Some class stuff, like for example with Nightblades, you probably want to go Refreshing Path, because that just heals everybody, gives them more regen, it's really good. But yeah, it just depends. Like each class has a bunch of things that they can use. For example, Dragonite, Molten Weapons, you can give everybody a like major brutality, so they don't have to like slot potions and shit like that. Not a super important thing, but like Ash Cloud for healing people, you know, for Templars, fucking Luminous Spear is so good. I love that thing. Luminous Shards. Wardens, the only green balance you get, which one is it? The Accelerated Growth? No. Mana Toughness, here we go. So yeah, Wardens is, with this skill line green balance, you just give people mana toughness, and that's also really helpful. Stuff like that. You just gotta, healing is like half or like a little bit healing, mostly like supporting people, tanking in the same, mostly just supporting your team. Alright, so if you have any questions about trials and you want to know more, just ask me. I should be able to give you some help, especially since ESO will be down, so I'll just be playing something single player anyway, probably. Might try some Cyberpunk or something. Anyway, that should be everything for now. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. See you next time. And yeah, see you on the other side. It'll be a while.